Hey guys, Fireling03 here, and welcome to a Wi-Fi battle, now in Pokemon. So, I don't do these very often. In fact, I don't do them at all on YouTube, but I decided to do one here on one of my first ever competitive Pokemon teams. So, that's pretty nice. So, they start out with Xerneas. I decided to send out my Cradily. This is max defense, max special defense. So, this is a bulky one, which you should always do with Cradily. It leads off with Moonblast. I'm like, I'm bulky. I can take the hit. I'll be fine. And, I go for Stealth Rock to get some extra damage off. And I was like, Moonblast did a lot more than I thought. So, I got the lefties. I heal up a little bit. Normally, I would have gone for, like, Toxic Ingrain and just stalled. It goes for Thunder. I'm like, okay, that's not going to do jack to me because I'm quad resist that. So I decided to go for Giga Drain to heal a little bit, and just to see what it does. It doesn't do, like, anything. It did, like, nothing. So I'm like, well, shoot, I guess I swap out of here. And I get healed from the leftovers, obviously. So I take away Cradily, and I ended up going into Speedster, which is my max attack, max speed Swellow. It goes for Mega Horn, and it misses, but I did do the right switch-in. This thing has Facade and Guts, and it just barely lives that. I'm like, shoot. Thunder misses, I'm like, yes, it misses. I definitely would have died there if it hit. So, they withdraw. I figured they would have done that. I just went for Facade again, and watch this. This is ridiculous. I use Facade, and it barely lives again. I'm like, shoot, that's gonna suck. Obviously, this thing is Mega as well. So, I just take Speedster back. I'm like, I can't risk more poison damage. I go into Fatty, which is my max special attack, max special defense Quagsire. The Dragon Rush misses. I'm like, that's good. And they Mega Evolve. I'm like, shoot, that's gonna suck. But the good thing is it's already whittled down. I use Dragon Rush. It misses again. I'm like, yes. I go for Rain Dance, and you might be confused, like, why didn't I just stay in? Why didn't I just use a move to finish it off? And the reason for that is, Draco Meteor misses. Now I go for the Scald, and that's no question that's going to survive. But there is a reason why I made it rain there, is because I have an Ampharos that has Thunder. So I figured, flying type out, take Stealth Rock's damage. This thing can't live a Thunder. So I go into Ampharos, but then I'm thinking, oh shoot, it might miss. And I sat here thinking for a while, and they use Oblivion Wing, which that does nothing. So yeah. I decided not, and they heal from Oblivion Wing. I decided not to do Thunder because I thought they were going to switch out. They didn't switch out, so I was like, shoot, I should have gone for Thunder. And that's when I realized I have made some really poor life choices. So I go back into Speedster. Big mistake. They use Dark Pulse, and with Dark Aura and Stab, that's definitely going to take Speedster out. So I'm like, well, dang, my fast physical attacker is dead. So I go into Sheepy once again, and it does Focus Blast. It misses. I do Thunder here, and I'm like, I'm plugging stuff, and I'm like, you're not gonna die there. So yeah, that's another dead Yveltal. The rain stops. They go back into Xerneas. I'm like, well, I better get out of here because this is my. But then, Stealth Rock's damage, Xerneas dies immediately. I'm like, yes. So that's really good. So they switch into Gardevoir. I'm like, well, can't really do much. I'm locked into, I have Choice Scarf, so I'm locked into Thunder, so I better get out of there. I switch into Kangaskhan, and this is my Life Orbed Kangaskhan. They use Psychic, and it does more than half. I'm like, dang. I use Fake Out, and it does a lot more than I thought. And I'm like, well. And, you know, they flinch, obviously, because it's Fake Out. I go for Drain Punch, because I was hoping that I could heal a little, but I didn't heal that much. at all. I only healed like 10 HP. And Life Orb took more out. They used Psychic. I'm like, well, there went Kangaskhan. Obviously not going to live here. He probably would have lived if I gave him a different item he had originally, but he doesn't have that item anymore. So I go into Fatty once again, and they use Psychic. I'm like, I am bulky, I am fat, I resist that. I use Scald, and yeah, that's a kill right there. I was wondering if it was Specs because Psychic was doing a lot, and it kept doing that. They go into the Greninja, and I could have sworn this would be Protean. So I go into Cradily for the Giga Drain. It uses Hydro Pump, it lands, and I'm like, it's not Protean? Really? So that's really weird. It gets a crit off that, and I'm like, well, shoot. I was hoping I could go for a Giga Drain to outspeed it. I don't. It uses Hydro Pump. It lands again, and I'm like, dang, poor Cradily. And yeah, he's definitely gone there. So I go into Sheepy once again, and I'm like, I can't risk Thunder missing. So it uses Extra Sensory. That does absolutely nothing at all. It uses that. I just went for Volt Switch because I couldn't risk Thunder missing. It ends up killing anyway, so I'm like, good, I made a good decision. If Thunder missed, that probably could have been really, really bad. So I go into my Primeape, I go into John Cena, and that's really overdone. And I realize last Pokemon's Flying type. This thing is weak. It can't do anything to me. South Rock's damage. I go for Poison Jab. This is my Choice Banded Primeape. I go for Poison Jab. It gets a crit, and yeah, that's a dead Rufflet right there. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and see you later. Bye!